Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first ever virtual season preview here at the Toll Theater. As we all know, so much has changed over the past year. Luckily for us here at the Toll, some things haven't changed, and that's the undying support of our corporate and community sponsors and collaborators, some of the most generous friends that the Toll has. So first and foremost, I want to thank AccuCraft Imaging. They have been a part of the Toll since the day we opened. The generosity of Leon Dombrowski and Seta Turin, and the entire team at AccuCraft and their support for our work here at the Toll, literally we couldn't do what we do without them. The other corporate sponsors that we would like to thank for this season include Vanna Salon and Day Spas, who have sponsored a show every season since we've been open. New sponsors, First Merchants Bank, and returning sponsors, David Gladish Law, DG Law. Thank you all so very, very much. We couldn't do what we do without you. Now, our season preview this year is a little different. Everyone who donated their talent did so virtually, so you'll be seeing clips and images that they've shared with us, which we're in turn sharing with you, with one exception. The first scene that you're going to see is presented from Daddy Longlegs the musical. A little bit of history. We originally slated to perform Daddy Longlegs in May of 2020. When that got canceled, we stayed in contact with our phenomenal cast, Isabella Andrews and Adam Moxness. And late last summer or early fall, we all agreed, including our music and vocal director, Elizabeth Toison, that we would try to reconvene and see if we could make a go of this beautiful, beautiful show. So we did. We started rehearsals in December, and even though we won't be able to present the show live in front of an audience this spring, which was our hope, we will be presenting it on demand virtually beginning March 8th. Tickets can be purchased only through our website, tolltheater.org. And of course, if you have any questions about the show, about the Toll, what we're doing, or anything else right now, please don't hesitate to reach out. Myself, Jeff Casey, the managing director here at the Toll, our director of administration, Kevin Bellamy, would love to answer any questions and to chat with you. You can give us a call at 219-937-8780. And now back to Daddy Longlegs, the musical. We shot the scene you're about to see from one of our last rehearsals, and it gives you a chance to see the great costume design work from Kevin Bellamy and the incredible vocal work that Isabella and Adam have been doing in rehearsals with Elizabeth. So please enjoy this song from Daddy Longlegs, the musical.
How old are you, Daddy? I know you won't tell me, but you can't stop me wondering. Where are you now? How goes your day? And is your hair sporting silver or gray? What are you like? Who could you be? 'Cause I have imagined a kindly old man of at least 83. And what would I think if I knew who you were? On my own I can only surmise. But if we could meet, it would lift my heart so, 'cause I know the color of your eyes.
Dear Jerusha, I've been meaning to write to you for quite some time, but with no success. It felt rather dishonest writing to you as Jervis Pendleton, when all your letters were being written to me as Daddy Longlegs. So I put it off. I shouldn't have done, but I did. Your discovery of my connection to Lock Willow has made a confession all the more necessary. I still don't know whether to write to you as Jervis telling you I'm Daddy, Daddy telling you I'm Jervis. Either way, I fear I shall be a terrible disappointment to you. What can I say? What would make sense? I've made a mess of things at your expense. My little deceit is haunting me now. And all I want is to tell you the truth, but I just don't know how. And what will you think when you know who I am? When you've seen through my foolish disguise?
I'm so excited to...
How can I manage to soften the blow when you know the color of my lies?
I'm curious.
I'm absentee.
What are you like?
You mustn't see the man I
Will
am,
I know
the man I'll never be.
the color of your eyes?
So, if you've never had the pleasure of enjoying one of our season previews live and in person, which is how we prefer to do them, we'd like you to know that we've been doing a season preview for more than 15 years, and the purpose is to introduce audiences, subscribers, donors, and sponsors, or potential audience to our upcoming shows. The Toll is known for doing shows that aren't necessarily done in many other theaters around Northwest Indiana or even Chicagoland. So we thought it would be a great idea to offer a glimpse into what we had coming up for each season, and it has paid off. The event fills up every year. Typically, we do a little wine, a little cheese to make it a nice outing, but you can certainly enjoy those things at home while you enjoy the rest of our season preview. Another detail we wanted to share with you is that we are indebted to the literally dozens of performers and friends of the Toll who have donated their time over the past 15 years plus, including this year's performers for the season preview. We just reach out to dear friends, many whom we've worked with before, to see if they would be willing to participate in the preview. And we're thrilled to have some really phenomenally talented people joining us this year once again. Which leads me to our next piece. So next up, the show that would be offered in May of 2021, however, just in an extended period of precaution for where we're going to be in regards to the vaccine rollout and everyone's health and safety, we've decided to push off our May show and offer, hopefully live and in person, the comedy Hope and Gravity in July. So Hope and Gravity is a show that's kind of quirky, but in a really interesting and fun storytelling way. So Kevin Bellamy, our director of administration, who does the first read of all of our shows, read the show and then said to me, I really think you'll like it, but I want to let you know it does not run in chronological order. And I was already thinking I was not going to be a fan. So I typically like pretty linear storytelling. Start at the beginning, give me a nice meaty middle, and then wrap it up with a bow on the end. Well, Hope and Gravity is not written or performed that way, and I thought initially that it was going to be problematic for me, but it is not at all. It is written so tightly and so well that you kind of don't notice that it's jumping around, and then at the end, everything does wrap up with a nice bow, just the way I like it. So we reached out to two dear friends of the Toll, Suzanne Nyhan and Christopher Place, to see if they would be willing to share with you a little excerpt from Hope and Gravity. And here they are.
Peter, we need to talk. No, we don't. Not really. Whenever we get together, my clothes start to come off, and that's where the talking stops. I do love it. Have loved it. But that's not the point. There are things I need to say to you with my bra on. Not now. Can you come over tonight? Marty's got bowling till 9:30. You've got what? What the hell is an apioectomy? Well, can't you reschedule? He's in a different league now, only meets twice a month. Well, I suppose I could talk to you Monday, but your hands will be in my mouth.
Do you have a minute?
Sure. If you're wondering about those athletic forms,
No, actually, I have a question
Okay.
of a personal nature.
Okay. Well, I can't promise I'll know the answer, but I'll do my best. What's your question? Hal?
Can people get birthmarks later in life?
Birthmarks?
Yeah,
What do you mean later in life?
my age.
I'm pretty sure they show up when you're born. That's why they're called birthmarks.
Oh. Okay.
Hal,
Yes.
are you concerned about something?
No. Yes. A little.
Would you like to tell me?
Sometime over the past 3 days, I developed a kind of birthmark
Okay.
on my chest.
Could it be a rash?
I don't think so.
Why not?
This is unusual,
How so?
out of the ordinary.
Well, rashes are actually much more common.
Miraculous? Really?
Miraculous?
I'm not a religious man. I mean, I go to church, but I grew up Presbyterian, and we don't go in for all that.
All that what?
All that. In the name of the Spirit of the Son, just. So imagine my surprise when this shows up
On your chest.
right there.
Would you like to show me?
If you don't mind.
Of course not.
This is extremely embarrassing
Nonsense.
and not really a part of your job.
You'd be surprised what's part of my job. Last week, I pulled a Lego out of a kindergartner's nose. Not a little one either. This thing was the size of a tape dispenser.
There.
Oh, this looks like a rash.
Not the rest.
What do you mean, not the rash?
The pattern. The shape. The outline. It.
It?
Look again.
I see an area of reddened skin with raised spots covering most of the chest.
You're missing it.
What?
The big picture.
I don't know what.
You're seeing the brushstrokes, but not the painting.
Okay. What do you see?
It's the Virgin.
The Virgin?
Mary.
I know what her name is. I just don't see.
Look again.
Hell.
Hold on.
I think you should show this to your doctor.
He'll just think I'm crazy.
No, he won't.
He already thinks I'm crazy.
I'm sure he doesn't.
He does. He writes me prescriptions for special pills, but I don't take them.
Maybe you should.
That's just what he wants me to do, but I feed him my cat. Here we go.
How is your cat?
A little twitchy, but otherwise fine. Now, do you see her eyes.
Well,
Hold on.
okay.
And her nose.
Right.
The mouth is down here.
That's certainly where it would be.
You have to imagine the veil.
Sure.
Now do you see it? I know I'm not much of an artist.
Have you shown this to Tanya?
Why?
Well, she's your wife.
Of course. Tanya can be so literal sometimes.
Literal might not be all bad, especially when you've got biblical figures making appearances on your chest.
What I mean is she's... Do you need to get that?
It's fine. It's probably just Marty. Calling about his bowling night, new league. So, about this rash.
This sort of thing happens
I
all
know,
the time.
I'm sure.
Last year, that Mexican lady with the baked potato,
No, tortilla.
whatever.
I know that it happens or seems to happen, but
Seems.
well, I just meant
Seems.
that
There are forces we can't see or understand.
I'm sure that there are. But I still think you should show your wife and your doctor, and if you want, your pastor.
Oh, I can't show him.
Why not?
Like I said, I'm Presbyterian. We don't make a big fuss over Mary. That's why I came to you. Because you're Catholic.
Not a very good one.
But you believe in the Virgin, don't you?
Well, we were all virgins once.
I've been staring at this in the mirror for 3 days, thinking there must be a reason. It must mean something. Otherwise, why?
Just because we don't understand something doesn't make it a miracle. Sometimes shit just happens.
I'm sorry to have bothered you.
No, not at all.
Well, that's very kind of you to say.
And it beats pulling Legos out of little kids' noses.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
You won't say anything about this, will you?
Of course not.
Good. Well,
You might try a hydrocortisone cream on the rash. They sell it over the counter.
okay.
And Hal, stop giving your meds to your cat. I think you'll both feel better.
We hope you're enjoying our season preview thus far, and I hope you're enjoying my movement around the set of Daddy Longlegs. I'm doing so to introduce to you the great scenic design work that Kevin Bellamy's been doing on the show, as well as the lighting design work of Adrian Petty on the show. It also gives you a glimpse into the environment that Isabella and Adam have been in, creating the roles of Jerusha and Jervis for Daddy Longlegs. So you've been enjoying Jervis's apartment and living quarters. And in the next segment, you'll get to see a little glimpse into Jerusha's world. Before we get to that, the next show is a musical called Night Tide. It's a 60s campy romp of a musical, very light, a little bit fluffy and quirky, which we like here at the Toll Theater. It centers on the lead character, Johnny, who's a sailor on leave and is exploring the boardwalk. and happens into a sideshow featuring a very beautiful mermaid, Moira. Now, the show really is about, is Moira a mermaid only in the sideshow, or is she really a mermaid? Well, you'll have to watch the show to find out, of course, or you can check out the source material for the show, which is the movie by the same title, Night Tide, which was one of Dennis Hopper's breakout roles, which is a non-musical, but really great source material for a fun and kind of eccentric telling of a story, but it's really all about a boy and a girl who fall in love. So we reached out to our dear friend, Sarah Jean Mergner, and asked her to sing the title song from the show, Night Tide.
I've always loved the sea ever since I was a girl. I'd sit in the sand all day and feel the soothing spray and watch the green foam swirl. The feelings never die, I'm consumed by my allure. It makes the day feel fresh, and when the salt joins my flesh, I feel pure. But when the sky's engulfed in flames that burn away the sun, somewhere in the distance the first roar's begun. As the gulls go silent and the beach becomes still, the tingle in my spine turns into a chill. Because I'm frightened by the night tide, it bares its fangs when its jaws spread wide. As it
For our last excerpt for you to enjoy, we present a cutting from The Last Lifeboat, which is a show about Bruce Ismay, who was the owner of the White Star Line and therefore the builder of the Titanic. Everyone is familiar with this story, right? The tragedy of the Titanic, the sinking of the ship, the horrific loss of life. What many people don't know about is the life of Bruce Ismay, how he came to inherit the White Star Line from his father, his pressure to do so, his loves of his life, his children, his wife, the woman that he was in love with his entire life and reconnected with on the Titanic, and the aftermath of this horrible, horrible worldwide tragedy. This show examines all of that in really succinct, crisp snapshots of scenes. The show moves very fast from location to location, from time frame to time frame, but really captures the heartache that Bruce Ismay felt as a person, as a company man, owning the White Star Line, as the builder of the Titanic. It explores the emotions and the ups and downs that surrounded his life. We were drawn to this piece because of the familiarity of the topic of the Titanic and, more importantly, the craft of the storytelling, of sharing with us many details that people just didn't know. So the scene we've selected for you to enjoy from The Last Lifeboat involves Florence, Bruce Ismay's wife. She goes to visit Hearst, who runs, of course, newspapers all over America during the time, to implore with him to stop this sensationalizing element of the tragedy, and specifically her husband. We reached out to dear friends, again, of the Toll, Joe and Megan Hoyt, and we hope you enjoy their presentation.
Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Hearst.
Not at all. How good of you to come over to be with your husband.
They've moved the hearings to Washington. I've only an hour before I board my train, but I had to come speak with you first.
What can I do for you?
I've come to ask what it will take for you to stop these attacks on my husband.
Those are just about selling more papers.
How can you say that? You are ruining my husband's life. And mine.
You should have thought about that the day he tried to strangle me at my own party.
Well, that was over 20 years ago.
I have a
Surely-
long memory, Mrs. Ismay.
My husband is not a villain.
A lot of people would disagree with that.
Well, if you won't think of me, what about my children?
Spare me the sob story, Mrs. Ismay. I have 20 people down the hall who can write it better.
Many years ago when we first met, you wanted something from me.
I'm listening.
If I were to offer you what you wanted, would you leave my husband alone?
Now that is the most interesting proposition I've had in weeks. God, you noble women are too much. Mrs. Ismay, I am flattered by your generous offer, but the Titanic is the best story since Little Red Riding Hood, and your husband has been cast as the big bad wolf. Good luck, Mrs. Ismay. You're going to need it.
Thank you so much for joining us for our first ever virtual season preview, highlighting what's to come in 2021 and perhaps 2022 here at the Toll Theater. We can't wait till you fill all of these empty seats behind me, and you can join us back here at the Toll for live, in-person theatrical entertainment. It's really what we've been craving this whole time. Before we let you go, a very special thank you to AcuCraft Imaging, our dear friends Leon Dombrowski and Seta Turin. We also want to thank once again all of the performers you've enjoyed through the season preview. starting with Suzanne Nyhan and Christopher Place, Sarah Jean Mergner, and Joe and Megan Hoyt. I also want to give a very special thank you for all the incredible time and energy and talent that Isabella Andrews, Adam Moxness, and Elizabeth Twazan have put into Daddy Longlegs. Also a nod of thanks and appreciation to our Toll Youth Theater Ensemble member and our production assistant for Daddy Longlegs, Anna Kirsch. This is Anna's last project with the Toll before she moves on to a great, bright future into college. We also want to thank Aaron Zamelko and Stephen Muller, who are in the pit orchestra for Daddy Longlegs. I also want to mention a very, very special thank you to Janet Papish and everyone at Calumet Electric for continuing their support of us and for being the corporate sponsor for the upcoming musical Night Tide. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our board of directors, to the city of Hammond and Mayor Thomas M. McDermott Jr. for all of their support, as well as the Hammond Port Authority. We could not be here without all of you, and we hope that you understand how much we appreciate you and how important you are to us, not just during this time that's so uncertain, but perhaps more importantly, when we are able to reopen, that you come and you enjoy a show here at the Toll Theater, which is what we want more than anything. Thank you so much.